Doing, Max? Yeah, you look a little bit cold. Yeah, how are you? I think you've put on a little tiny bit of weight. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Maxime has cerebral palsy. He's very contracted here, very, very contracted. And he's got a lot of curvature in the spine here as well, poor little pet. This time last year, Maxime was on death's door, really. He was grossly underweight and his body had even started to deteriorate and go terribly, terribly cold. And our nurses didn't think at one stage that he'd even survive the night, one of the nights we were here. So they surrounded him with empty Ballygowan bottles, actually. They just filled them with lukewarm water and just put them all around his little cold body to keep him warm and to keep him alive. And his will to live is strong. Oh, God bless you. Dealing.
If it was my kids, I would love someone to come in and look after them. I mean, they are human beings, and I know people might forget that just because we say they have a physical defect or a mental defect, but I mean the first thing is that we can never forget. We say when you look at those kids, we say, and the way they just look at you, or they love to give you, or they just give you a pat on the head, or just something like that. It's so worthwhile. It's such as. And when you go, you think of him. You'd think of him many's the day, we'll say, and a lot of the other kids too. When they're just lying here in their bed, we'll say. And you just love to be here, but you know you cannot, but in your heart you're here with them. So you are.
Keep waving the flag up. 1, 2, 3.
This morning, Christina and Olga are at the centre of the celebrity spotlight in Cork. But before the day is out, they'll be confronted with some very tough decisions about their future.
It's just amazing. I think the minute they come home, we call this their home, their Irish home. And as soon as they come in the door, they change from being two little orphans to being two little girls. And they play like any two kids, and they get up to mischief like any two kids. I mean, the first time I saw them picking up a hoover and starting to hoover the house, my initial reaction was to go over and help them to lift her. At the time it was okay, I'll do it. But they want to do these things. I mean, Christina will sweep the whole floor and she'll do as good a job as I will, definitely, you know. And they just love to help around the house, and I just think it's fantastic to watch them do this and to see how they integrate into the family.
It's too late. Apologise.
What I would hope for eventually for Christina and Olga is that someday we could get operations done as fast as possible. I don't know what that entails. We have spoken to consultants, and there has been mention of amputation, especially in Christina's case. For me, that's a horrific thought, but at the same time, we'll explore every avenue to see what can be done for them.
The huge dilemma facing Christina is that she could be spending life in an adult mental asylum in Belarus if she's not able to walk by the time she's 18.
Today is a very special day for us, and we're going to see a specialist in the orthopaedic hospital today, and we're hoping to get some answers as to what the possibilities can be done for Christina and Olga. We were going to discuss amputation and possibly what health prosthesis limbs would be for Christina. We're very, very apprehensive as to the outcome of this. She walks on her knees. Yeah. Show?
Yeah.
Yeah, and turn around. and her feet themselves are quite bad.
Olga, can you just explain to her that there's another patient of Andreas here from Belarus, and she had a problem with her legs, and Andreas has given her new legs, and she's going to show them to her so she can see what's possible.
Мне такое не надо.
No?
Не ну.
No?
Не, мне нравится ползать.
She likes crawling.
This is a little bit risky because I suppose in a way it's a little bit about tough love. I mean, we can't tell Christina that if we don't intervene with a small bit of amputation and prosthetics, that she could possibly end up in another mental asylum, which is a semi-prison, which would be a fate worse than death. It means that she will be confined in the system for the rest of her life.
It's a big thing to ask from hand in your leg, your feet, and you're very small. You think, no, and you see this for the first time. It's very difficult for her now to say, you can have my feet. Yeah, that's the problem, I think. But being in a wheelchair and not being mobile, and especially in her case, if she has to go to her future looks very bleak if she cannot be mobile. So this, you really have to go for amputation then.
Come on, Christina, let's...
You know this.
Know this? No? It's hard to consider them cutting anything off of this girl because she's so precious. I want to keep every single piece of her. But at the same time, if it's going to improve her life, maybe it's an option that we can now consider. We've definitely got more options than we had coming in. And for that, I'm very, very grateful.
Christina and Olga returned to Vesnova Orphanage in July. Their Irish medical team is still trying to decide on the best way to overcome their disabilities.